Hey there, amazing friends. I warmly invite you to join me on this exciting journey by subscribing to my channel, liking, commenting, and sharing my videos. Every like, comment, and share brings us closer together and fuels my passion to create more great content. Your support truly makes all the difference. Thank you for being the heart of this community. The Whispering Castle on the Hill. Unspoken secrets trapped between crumbling walls and unresting spirits. High on a windswept hill where the clouds gather like mournful specters and the wind sings a sorrowful tune, stands a castle long abandoned by time and fate. Known by locals simply as the Whispering Castle, its crumbling walls and overgrown battlements harbor unspoken secrets and restless spirits that have haunted the surrounding countryside for centuries. This is not merely a relic of medieval architecture. It is a living testament to forgotten tragedies, dark conspiracies, and the eerie echo of souls that refuse to find peace. The castle's story began in an age when nobility ruled with both wisdom and cruelty. Constructed in the early 1400s by a once powerful family whose fortunes soared and then plummeted as quickly as the tides of war, the fortress was intended to be a bastion of honor and strength. For generations, it served as both a royal residence and a defensive stronghold, witnessing epic battles, clandestine intrigues, and love affairs that burned bright but ended in despair. Over time, as dynasties crumbled and the modern world emerged, the castle was gradually abandoned, left to the mercy of nature and the relentless march of time. Its high stone walls, once meticulously maintained, now bear deep scars, cracks, and fissures that seem to weep with the weight of long-buried sorrows. In the dead of night, when the wind rustles through the broken arrow slits and ancient corridors, visitors claim that the very stones murmur in hushed tones, revealing secrets that no mortal should ever know. It was on a particularly chilly autumn evening that I first set foot upon the overgrown path leading to the castle. The sky was a turbulent canvas of deep purples and grays, and the trees lining the winding road bent under the pressure of an unspoken grief. As I approached the massive iron gates, rusted and barely hanging on, I felt an inexplicable pull, a mixture of dread and curiosity that urged me forward, despite every instinct to flee. The gate creaked open, as if welcoming me into a realm where time had frozen and the past whispered its laments through every weathered stone. Inside the courtyard, wild ivy clung to every surface, and the once proud banners, now tattered remnants of a forgotten glory, fluttered silently in the night breeze. The castle loomed ahead, its silhouette stark against the moonlit sky, and a palpable aura of melancholy seemed to seep from its very foundations. I could almost hear soft voices echoing from the shadows, a murmur of regret and lost dreams that resonated with the pounding of my heart. It was as though the castle itself was alive, its walls storing every secret, every tear shed by those who once called it home. I entered through a shattered doorway, stepping into a grand hall where time had left its mark in layers of dust and crumbling plaster. Faded portraits of stern-faced nobles lined the walls, their eyes following my every move with a mixture of sorrow and accusation. In one large, vaulted chamber, I discovered a massive chandelier, its crystals dulled by years of neglect. When a stray beam of moonlight caught its facets, they refracted the light into a scattering of ghostly colors that danced upon the floor. I paused there, mesmerized by the interplay of light and shadow, and in that moment I sensed a presence, an unseen guest whose eyes, though unseen, seemed to watch from every dark corner of the room. The deeper I ventured into the castle, the more I encountered inexplicable signs of former life. In a narrow passageway, I found a rusted suit of armor, its visor open, as if it had been left in a state of eternal vigilance. On a nearby stone bench lay a single delicate locket, its intricate engraving still visible despite the ravages of time. As I picked it up gingerly, a cold gust of wind swept through the corridor, and I swear I heard a faint, sorrowful sigh like the soft lament of a heart long broken. Such moments, fleeting yet intense, wove together a tapestry of the castle's tragic history, each relic a silent witness to betrayals, lost love, and the cruelty of fate. Local legends speak of the curse that befell the original ruling family, a curse said to be cast by a spurned sorceress whose beauty and power were rivaled only by her unquenchable thirst for vengeance. According to the tales, the sorceress, wronged by the lords of the castle, vowed that their bloodline would be haunted by eternal misfortune. In the years that followed, every heir to the throne was struck down by inexplicable tragedies, and the once magnificent castle became a repository of dark secrets and unending sorrow. Some say that on moonless nights, the anguished cries of the cursed echo through the corridors, as if the souls of the doomed are forever trapped within its walls, reliving their final moments in a loop of despair. Others claim to have seen spectral figures drifting silently among the towers, wraith-like apparitions with hollow eyes, roaming the halls in search of redemption or release. As I made my way to the highest tower, the path became steeper and more treacherous, the walls narrowing to a mere passageway lined with shattered stained glass windows. Each shard, fragmented and vibrant with shards of color, told a story of a celebration long turned to mourning. In the dim light, I noticed that some windows had inscriptions etched in an archaic script, their meanings lost to time. I recorded these symbols in my notebook, pondering if they were part of the curse's ritual, a final, desperate message left by those who had once lived in the castle. Outside, the wind howled through the broken glass like a lament, merging with the distant cry of an owl to form a symphony of desolation. Reaching the summit of the tower, I stepped onto a narrow balcony that overlooked the vast, moonlit expanse of the surrounding valley. From this vantage point, the full scope of the castle's decay was laid bare. Crumbling walls, overgrown battlements, and a sense of abandonment that seemed to stretch into eternity. I could almost see the faded echoes of past grandeur, a time when the castle thrummed with life, when music and laughter filled its halls, and when hope and ambition soared as high as the battlements. Now, all that remained were the silent shadows of memory, lingering like ghosts in the twilight. It was here, on that precarious ledge, that I experienced a moment that defied rational explanation. As I gazed out over the valley, I noticed a faint glow emanating from within the castle itself, a soft, pulsating light that seemed to beckon me back inside. Compelled by a mixture of dread and fascination, I retraced my steps through the winding corridors until I found the source of the glow. In a secluded chamber, hidden behind a collapsed archway, lay an ancient mirror framed in dark, ornate wood. The mirror's surface was surprisingly intact, its glass reflecting not only my own weary face, but also the flickering light from an unseen flame. As I stared into it, I felt an overwhelming sense of melancholy, as though the mirror was a portal into the deepest recesses of despair and longing. For a brief, heart-stopping moment, I swore I saw a reflection that was not my own, a gaunt figure, cloaked in shadows, whose eyes held a sorrow so profound that it seemed to pierce my very soul. Then, just as suddenly, the image vanished, leaving me with only the ghostly echo of its presence. The mirror became a symbol of the castle's eternal curse, a relic through which the unspoken secrets of generations were whispered to any who dared to look. Local villagers have long believed that the mirror is cursed, that it holds the power to reveal the hidden truths of one's soul, and that those who gaze into it are forever changed. Some say that the mirror shows not only the present, but also the haunting visions of the past, the moments of agony and betrayal that led to the downfall of the ruling family. Others insist that it is a doorway, a threshold between the world of the living and the realm of restless spirits. Regardless of its true nature, the mirror stands as a silent witness to the inexorable passage of time and the weight of history that has befallen the once magnificent castle. In the days that followed my exploration, I could not shake the feeling that the castle was still watching me. Its crumbling walls, its shattered windows, and its darkened corridors all seemed to whisper of ancient sorrows and unfinished business. I returned to the site several times, each visit deepening my understanding of the castle's tragic legacy. I spoke with local elders who recounted stories of mysterious lights flickering in the tower at night and of phantom footsteps echoing in empty halls. One elderly woman, her eyes brimming with tears, told me of a young bride who had once been locked away in the castle by a vengeful patriarch, her spirit forever condemned to wander the corridors in search of freedom. Her tale, filled with both beauty and despair, resonated with me long after I left the castle grounds. Modern researchers and paranormal investigators have since taken an interest in the Whispering Castle, using the latest technology, thermal imaging, electromagnetic field detectors, and high-definition audio recorders to capture evidence of its spectral residence. Some claim to have recorded voices that murmur unintelligible phrases in the dead of night, while others have captured fleeting images of ghostly figures gliding silently through the halls. Although concrete proof of the castle's paranormal activity remains elusive, the cumulative weight of eyewitness accounts, historical documents, and inexplicable phenomena has turned the Whispering Castle into a symbol of unending mystery, a monument to the power of forgotten secrets and the relentless persistence of memory. For me, the experience of exploring the castle was transformative. In its decaying grandeur, I found not only a record of human ambition and cruelty, but also a profound reminder of our shared vulnerability in the face of time. The castle, with its unyielding silence and sorrowful echoes, compelled me to confront the darker chapters of history, the tragedies that are often buried beneath layers of legend and myth. It forced me to question what is truly lost when a civilization crumbles. Is it merely the physical remnants of its achievements, or are the human emotions, the love and loss, the hope and despair, equally consigned to oblivion? In the dim light of that ancient mirror, I saw a reflection of humanity itself, a fragile, transient existence that leaves behind echoes long after the living have departed. As dusk falls over the desolate landscape, imagine standing before the crumbling facade of the Whispering Castle, its broken towers silhouetted against a blood-red sunset, the wind carrying soft, sorrowful voices through empty corridors. Picture the ancient stones, worn smooth by centuries of weather and neglect, each one a silent testament to lives once lived and tragedies never forgotten. In that moment, you might sense that the castle is more than just a relic of the past. It is a repository of secrets, a sanctuary for the ghosts of history, whose whispers beckon you to listen, to remember, and perhaps even to understand the timeless interplay of light, shadow, and the human heart. Shadows behind the curtain, alleged secret alliances between world leaders, music icons, and top YouTube celebrities may expose the hidden machinations of power in modern society. But here, in the haunted corridors of the Whispering Castle, lies a different kind of mystery, a mystery that transcends the boundaries of time and place. It reminds us that every monument, every ruin, carries within its weathered walls the imprints of dreams, regrets, and untold stories. The castle's ghostly echoes challenge us to peer beyond the visible, to embrace the uncertainty of the unknown, and to acknowledge that the past, with all its sorrow and beauty, is never truly gone. It lives on in the eternal shadows, waiting to be discovered by those with the courage to seek it. So, as you listen to this tale, Allow your imagination to wander through the corridors of time and despair. Let the soft, mournful murmur of the wind, the faint echo of footsteps on ancient stone, and the spectral image in the mirror draw you into a world where secrets are never lost. They simply await the brave souls who dare to uncover them. In that twilight realm, where the crumbling walls of the castle hold the key to unspoken histories, every whisper is a promise, and every shadow is a reminder that the past endures in eternal silence, long after all else has faded away.